Hey guys, it's Linda, and I just wanted to share with you a recipe that I have. It's not for people necessarily. I will share a funny story, and I don't know why the lighting looks so funny in the camera to me. It may not once I upload it, but it has a really orangey yellow hue. I apologize for that. This recipe is for my homemade dog biscuits. I make my dogs their homemade biscuits. A while back, one of our older German Shorthair was diagnosed to have too much fat in her diet. And so we put her on an older diet, and she lost like 9 pounds. Not that she ever looked heavy to me, but it was better for her. So I decided, instead of buying treats that were really high in fat, and normally I just give them carrots for treats, but once in a while they like something that has a little meat flavor, and so I decided to make my own dog biscuits, and I'm going to show you how I do it. It's really, really simple. It's very simple, basic ingredients. I put this on their food all the time. The flax, the cold mill flax, it's just made a huge difference in their coats and how their pads heal after they've hunted on shale. It tears them up, and they can be really sore for days. So we toughen up their pads, but every once in a while they'll get into some lava rock that will tear them up, and so this stuff makes it heal faster. And then whole wheat flour, so it's very wholesome. These are the egg whites from my carbonara sauce last night. And I'm going to put a whole egg in there also, because I don't mind them having a little bit of protein. And the whites are extra protein. This is going to be my binder for the whole thing. Let me put that shell away. As you guys know, I feed my chickens the shells. So I also, let's see, really measure this out in cups. I don't measure much actually. So this is baby food beef. Now the reason I use this, I could puree this in a blender, or I use chicken sometimes, and I use beef. The baby food is pureed really, really fine. I don't necessarily want chunks of meat in their dog biscuits, right? Yeah, I mean, these are dog biscuits. So I like to save those little jars. They make, if you run them through the dishwasher, they make great spice jars if you've got spices that are more expensive. And so I'm just going to whip this egg white and actually whole egg, and I believe there's 3 egg whites in here, so that's a lot of protein. Mix that with that can, and it smells like baby food beef. I'm going to add some flax, and this is a really stiff dough, so don't be scared. I'm going to add, this came with a scooper. It's probably a good tablespoon. I add about 1.5 of those to the mix. And they actually, if you put that flax seed, that ground flax seed, on the top of their dry dog food, they will make sure they get all of it. They really like it. So, which tells me that their body probably needs it. I don't add any salt. I'm not going to say that I don't add oil. We'll see how this process goes before I make that decision. And this is whole wheat flour. So I'm just going to add the whole wheat until I get a pretty stiff, hard dough. I don't want this dough, it's going to be stiff and hard, because a dog biscuit bakes off, it's a hard biscuit, right? So you want to make sure that this dough is a hard dough. And I can already see we want some more. Sorry about my measurements. It's an eyeball thing and a feel. And I feel like this is pretty healthy. I know it's low fat. It's high protein. They don't go giving them 10 of these. One of these a day for a treat is plenty, right? And the reason I was inspired to do this was because of those egg whites. I was going to make an omelet this morning for myself, and I just ran out of time and did not eat breakfast until I got to the school. So anyway, that happens. And okay, so now we're starting to work with a dough that's pretty stiff. So I'm going to get this out on, I still don't think it's stiff enough. This you can also do in the food processor. It's a small enough batch that food processor will work that dough. I'm not worried about kneading it so much, just incorporating the flour and making sure that it incorporates well enough. I'm going to get my hands in here now. And you can tell a whole wheat dough opposed to a white flour, refined white flour. It's really soft and there's no edginess to it. So I just want it, I'm not kneading, I'm getting this together is what I'm doing. Okay, so any sticky spots are going to go down and collect some more flour. Yeah. So now we don't add any salt. They don't need salt in their diet. They don't need added sugar. You guys that have dogs know what they do, and they pretty much will eat whatever you put out there in their mouth. So now I'm just going to roll this dough out because you want to make cute biscuits, right? I actually have to confess, my dog biscuit cutter is not my own. I borrowed it. I usually do mine in little rounds, but this was so cute I couldn't help it. I said, please let me borrow it, and she bought it on eBay, so I will purchase my own. So you just roll this out into a sheet to where you can cut it. Just like if you were doing biscuits, you're making dog biscuits, right? Without the shortening. And then depending on how thick you want those biscuits, they're not going to rise up a lot because there's no baking baking powder in there. So I don't necessarily want them super thick, but I do want to have them where I can pick it up and give the dogs a nice biscuit. I'm going to spray. I've got foil down on my baking sheet, and I sprayed that down with Pam. And I pick up this biscuit and look, it's shaped like a bone. I think this is for you and me, not for the dogs, because it makes me happy. They won't care. They're going to say, cook up all those scraps and give it to me, Mama. So, there you go. Dog biscuits. I'm going to preheat my oven to 350, actually. And then that way I can bake those off. They go really quick. This is you can add chicken, you can do peanut butter and honey, which I will do next time because my older German short hair, she is allergic to, well, when the pollen gets really bad here in the late summer, and we think it's when the sagebrush blooms, but every year like clockwork, I've got a $300 or $400 vet bill because she's got allergies. And so what I want to try to do is start giving her the local honey, so I can hopefully avoid that for her, or at least help it. It probably won't avoid it, but so you're just cutting these out just like biscuits. They're dog biscuits, and these are the size for a medium to large dog, you know. I mean, I guess you can go on eBay and buy these pretty readily. So my friend told me, she was so sweet to loan me this. I just said, I can't do a video and make round dog biscuits. Now, I do have a funny story about this, and then I'm going to get this baked off. My husband's boss periodically comes to town, and I had made some nondescript shaped dog biscuits with chicken, and I thought, you know, I should put that in the fridge because of the chicken. And I put them in a bag, and I put them in the fridge. The peanut butter ones I don't refrigerate. But he came into town to stay with us, and I was at work, and my husband, I guess, got in the shower when they got here, and so he was left to his own devices, and he knows I like to cook, and he's eating my cooking, and he was looking for something good to eat in the fridge. And he happened to pawn some dog biscuits. And he told my husband when my husband came in from his shower, he came into the kitchen or dining room, wherever it was, and he said, you know, those cookies or whatever Linda made are a little dry, but they were really good. And so we had to inform him that those were dog cookies, and he didn't even mind. So I would think they'd be a little bland too, with the whole wheat and no sugar or fat necessarily. It's all protein and fiber. So I'm just getting the rest of these rolled out, and it's just like regular biscuits for us. Yeah. Get as many as you can out of the batch of dough that you have. And the last one might be an ugly round biscuit, but that's okay. And I'm going to get these into the oven. Look how cute. And my dogs have treats for a few days. If they get one of these a day, you know what? They're so happy. I bring them these when I get home. So I hope this inspires you to spoil not only your human buddies, but your pets as well. And you can do it in a healthy manner. Bye. Okay, so now we're back, and these are hot out of the oven. We have the finished dog biscuits. These are perfect size for my dogs. I have medium to large dogs, so these are perfect size. For a smaller dog, order a smaller cookie cutter, or you don't have to order them at all small. I used to roll them in balls and smash them. They do not care if it's shaped like anything but love. So I have to say, when these were cooking, my husband came in the house from weed eating and mowing, and he came in and he said, oh my gosh, whatever you're making smells really good. So, and he'd already eaten dinner. So I guess we did okay. You got a little baby food beef in there, and you can use chicken. You can use your own pureed stuff. Tomorrow I found a package of, these are chicken thighs that I probably was in a hurry about, and put them in this Ziploc bag, which is a freezer bag, but I can see that there might be some freezer burn. I'm going to cook this up for the dogs, and I'm going to cook it up in a big batch. This will be 2 to 3 weeks of, you know, I'm not going to give them this all in 1 week. Probably 2 weeks. I'll branch this out. Cook this up with some brown rice and vegetables. So, anyways, I hope this inspires you to go ahead, make your dog a baby biscuit, and you know, these aren't that hard. That was a hard dough. So these are still hot, but they just break right apart. And when they cool down and they harden, you want them hard dough. You want it to be okay for their teeth. And the thinner these are, I think, the harder, yeah, those are breaking apart. The thinner they are, the harder they're going to be. The more gluten that's in the mix, everything. So I hope it inspires you to step outside your little comfort zone and do what you know best and try something new. Okay, I'll see you next time.